The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss them, share our little feelings, and then make those characters fight for our amusement and yours too. We're not selfish that way. I am your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as always, is plenty of Ken Napzok.
Oh man, and I'm sober today, man.
I know. I normally have been saying a little bit of whiskey and a lot of Ken Napzok. We're recording a little bit earlier in the afternoon, middle of other stuff, so we don't have our whiskey right now. You know, it works better when I say a little bit of whiskey and a lot of Ken Napzok instead of just here today is plenty of Ken Napzok.
Yeah, plenty. Well, I'm glad that we're executing some kind of caution.
Yeah.
On our drinking habits. It's highly recommended.
Yeah, you gotta do it sometimes. You gotta not drink now so you can drink later. That's how I am cautious.
Literally the truth today.
Anyway, this is a fun episode of Databank because I like to be a little bit timely with when they come out sometimes.
Right.
And we are staring down the face of the return of Rebels, the big final season, final half season. Coming up soon, so we've had some fun with some Rebels characters before, but I wanted to dive even deeper.
Most notably Chopper with that cape.
Chopper with that cape, that was great.
Yeah.
Good as Morgan and the Puffer Pigs, a great indie band. But this time we got somebody a little bit different.
Okay.
Do you feel ready?
I feel ready, man. I feel ready.
All right.
I feel nervous, actually.
Our first combatant is everyone's favorite character from Rebels, Controller LT-319. You see so many t-shirts of this guy at conventions. Here's what StarWars.com Databank has to say. Controller LT-319, outfitted with Lobot tech headgear, was the lead intelligence officer aboard the Imperial listener ship near Killen Station. Ambitious and scheming, Controller LT-319 was eager to impress Grand Admiral Thrawn and reprogrammed Chopper in an effort to discover the location of the Rebel base. The plan would backfire, however, when Hera Syndulla restored her droid's original programming and reversed the feed, destroying the listener ship and Controller LT-319 in the process.
And I think, if we're not mistaken, this is voiced by Josh Gad, right?
Oh, is it really?
I believe
yes.
this
okay,
was.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I don't really remember exactly what his voice sounds like. I just remember that he looks like Lobot if Lobot's career goal was to design tech for Apple.
Yes. So this Lobot-ish guy here was also, according to these notes, designed to look like Story Group member Pablo Hidalgo.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I just insulted Pablo Hidalgo without meaning to. My apologies if you're listening, Mr. Hidalgo. But he's got the Lobot headgear. But then doesn't he have some pretty Silicon Valley specs on there?
He really does. It's like it's a sharp pair of glasses. You know, it almost looks like they're like yellow tinted, like he's going skeet shooting. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. What else does Wikipedia have? Any other details on him, or is it just more details of that one episode of Rebels where he dies?
Just that one episode of Rebels, but I love it's listed when he dies. This is 2 BBY before Battle Yavin, space. Just died in space. Species human, gender male, hair brown, what's left of it, eye color brown, and skin color light. And that is his cyborg, it's called an AJ6 cyborg construct.
Okay, so now I'm all confused because the databank lists it as outfitted with Lobot tech headgear. And now we know from the Lando comic that was just Lobot's name. It's not, that's not like, you know, that's like saying Beats by Dre is the name.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Beats.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting is that's what's one of the first, I won't say air with the databank, but like they're just talking to the general public. Like, that guy from Empire? He's got that
He's got the things like, it looks like Lobot's head.
Yeah. But, and then LT-319, I wonder if is LT Lobot tech?
Yeah. Oh, maybe. But this is interesting because it is the first sort of, that's wiggly with canon to just name it after.
Yeah.
You know, could it be that Lobot was the first one who, well, So this, all right, let's talk about this tech. This tech is stuff that you get from the Empire or from the open market just to be like, it's basically just a huge Texas Instruments for your head. It's a calculator, right?
You're plugging on in here. So it's the AJ Up 6. I don't know how to. It's got a symbol. Cyborg construct, also known as the Lobot Tech headgear.
Oh, okay.
It was a cybernetic device attached into the backside of a user's head designed to increase the user's productivity in exchange for their personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was the story in the Lando comic where we learned that that Lobot, Lo, as Lando calls him for most of the issues, is fighting to keep his personality. So it wants to take over. So then for controller LT-319, he still had a personality, right? He was snarky.
He was snarky. He was full of knowledge and snarky. So definitely based on someone we know. But I took it. I mean, he was stern. He was withdrawn.
He would take no guff on Twitter. That is true.
Yes. Yeah.
Space Twitter.
Space Twitter. If there was space Twitter.
All right. Any other quote from LT-319?
Not even a quote, which is disappointing because he said a lot in that episode.
Yeah. So, and we know from the good parts of this databank description that he's ambitious and scheming. Okay, which makes sense. And he takes unnecessary risks, which allow him to be blown up and die in space.
Right.
So, how do you feel about this guy?
Well, I remember not really taking to this episode.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of, we wanted Kenobi Mall. We wanted all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times just these episodes show up that are a little bit less budget. Maybe Josh Gad got scale for this. I don't know. And so I didn't take to this episode and this character as maybe as much as they wanted me to. I don't know. You know? It's fine. It's cool. And once I heard it was voiced by Josh Gad, I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
He's a big Star Wars guy, Star Wars fan, so it's all good. I don't have any ill will towards this character. I'm familiar with who he is, and that's about it.
Okay, great. Yeah. I was so excited to see the Lobot head tech gear and to see that's a thing that a lot of people in the galaxy might have volunteered to have. I like knowing the backstory of it. The backstory of it's really cool. But the LT-319 himself with the glasses. Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting idea to have this very stationary villain whose evil comes from numbers. It's different from Thrawn, who's very political and artistic and philosophical. And this guy's just like, I'm going to crunch the numbers and kill you with math.
Right.
That's interesting to me.
When he hit one of his things is the rebels had 31% chance of using the stolen codes, and it's like, it's different. I like it.
Yeah. That would have been interesting if maybe, I think it would have been more interesting in the character if he had dealt a blow.
Right.
Instead of our rebels successfully doing the old Doctor Who trick of reversing the feed, which happens in Doctor Who all the time. So I like that. Shout out to Doctor Who. And the death in space. All right, are you ready for your next combatant then?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is someone that you know a little bit better. Our next combatant is AP-5.
Oh.
I've been waiting for the right time to honor AP-5. Here's what the StarWars.com databank has to say. Proud and honorable, AP-5 was a droid that served as a navigator for the Republic military during the Clone Wars. Following the formation of the Empire, however, he was reassigned to inventory. While the position did not take advantage of his gifts, he performed his duties without complaint, despite threats and disrespect from his Imperial commanders. It was only after a fateful meeting with the rebel astromech Chopper that AP-5 came to see he did not have to serve the Empire. He helped Chopper escape capture and defected to the rebels, helping find a safe haven away from Imperial forces. Nice long entry for AP-5. AP-5. If you don't watch Rebels, we'll give you a little rundown, a little bit more about whole AP-5 here. Yeah. You're scrolling through the Wikipedia?
Scrolling through. So AP-5 is actually a character I enjoy a lot of.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get a little bit more of that there. But, there's one big thing that AP-5 does, and it's this episode, right?
Oh, is it?
think it is.
Is it the same episode?
I think it's the same episode.
Oh, wow. I didn't even remember that.
I thought that's what you were doing on purpose.
No. I just wanted these two characters. He
is made by Iraq Kid Industries, a RA7 protocol, like you said. And design, design is like a classic, like New Hope era droid.
Yeah,
like it would fit well into that.
Originally called the Death Star droid.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I remember that figure. Yeah. 1.7 meters, masculine programming, sensor color gray, plating color blue. He is more blue than anything, which is it. And is known for kind of a dulcet tones, voiced by Stephen Stanton, and known for singing.
Yeah. We'll get into the singing. He has a singing episode that is Ken's just the bane of your Star Wars existence.
I struggle with it, and I've, full disclosure, I've become friends with Stephen Stanton now, and fortunate enough to grab dinner with him and his friends every now and then, and I don't back off of it. Yeah. I don't back off of it. I told him, I said, AP-5's getting popular. And he has some AP-5 shirts so you can get all this kind of stuff.
Nice.
And they're like a musical. But I said, that's singing in space. I still don't know what happened there. Still don't know what's going on.
The singing in space, I'd have to re-examine to see if I need a Star Wars council myself. But here's what I do like about AP-5 is I love how much he is leaning into the story of the sentience of droids.
Yeah.
In that he has opinions. He has rights. He has skills. He should be valued for his skills. Mm-hmm. I like that he is an old droid who served during the Clone Wars, so he's got that like wisdom of the past and how it affects the present. I like all those things. I like how emotional he is. Mm-hmm. So it would be that logical step of like, well, if you've got a lot of emotions, how are you going to express them?
Right.
You got to sing.
Through song.
Got to sing. And now, maybe this is something that Steven has shared with you directly or not. Mm-hmm. We're both big fans of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
There's some Marvin the Paranoid Android going on here, right?
It's so funny because I'm reading this description on Wikipedia of just the overall, and they say during the Pan-Galactic Clone Wars, and I thought, well, Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. Yes. So Stephen voices him in the vein of Alan Rickman, particularly, Alan Rickman doing Marvin the Paranoid Android in the 2005 movie.
Okay.
Which I'm a big fan of that movie as well. I think it's underrated. Not perfect by any means, but Douglas Adams had a lot to do with that movie. That's another podcast. So yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Kind of that, I'm doing it badly.
Oh, my. There's just like that little bit of sadness to it, right? It is very dulcet.
Then I sing. Yeah.
Oh, I know where that should be filed. No one listens to AP-5. That's the more, like, to me, the emotion of it, and that's part of the reason I like it, of a little bit of that, like, there's a slight drone quality to it, which is this great emotional thing of, like, you have to stop and listen to me, Mr. Rushing Around Star Wars people.
Right.
It's going to take AP-5 a few minutes to say what he has to say.
Say what he want to do it.
Yeah. All right. Any other details about AP-5?
Well, I was just reading about the actual singing in that episode, Double Agent Droid. How show director Dave Filoni clarified that AP-5's encounter with the Nebres and the song, which was happening at the end of the episode, was intended to give a lighthearted ending to a filler episode. So I don't know.
Oh, Dave Filoni said a filler episode?
I mean, that's not a quote.
Okay.
It's not a quote there, but that's that. Double Agent Droid is, I will confirm just so we don't have any question, is the episode.
Okay, that's
both
great.
Both of them appear in.
Wow.
So, hey, we're having a Double Agent Droid rematch.
Good job, me. Because I think Chopper has some issues, too. So this is not a filler episode. This is an important episode about agency of droids.
Yes, droid feelings.
Droid feelings and how to express them. Mm-hmm. Two different ways to do that. You can sing in space, or you can blow up a station and kill controller LT-319. Your choice, droids. All right. Any other thoughts before we dive into this?
No, other than I would apologize ahead of time for any voices I do today.
And me as well, as always. Pre-apologies. Let's fight. So, now, I'm kind of a stickler about, I like to have these characters fight when they're alive, so it has to be before the events of Double Agent Droid. But since both these characters have some history with the Empire, there's a possibility that they might have encountered one another before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually want to take it back and see maybe what happened. Maybe the LT-319 we see now is just clone version of the original one. We don't know. The story may go in different directions here. But, yeah, I would actually like to see this closer to the event. Not closer to Clone Wars like 20 years prior, but more in the center of the height of the Empire, when things were going well.
Yeah. Maybe it is like right when controller LT-319 gets his Lobot Tech headgear.
Oh, I like that.
They're brand new, and he's still got a little bit more personality.
Right.
A little bit more sass.
Yeah, so he's not stationed yet on the IGV-55 surveillance vessel. He is maybe not fresh out of the academy, but fresh out of this decision. I like that a lot.
Yeah, maybe they're both on a Star Destroyer, serving on a Star Destroyer, because AP-5 is an inventory guy, right?
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot to scroll to.
Oh, yeah.
AP-5 has a lot here, Joseph.
Really?
He has
in
quite a story to tell. He's been a key member of Rebels.
Yeah, he's featured a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? Maybe this will be the next animated series.
But inventory droid, yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. I had to get a little phlegm out of my throat to make sure that we can all drone like AP-5.
It's all okay.
So let's just make up a Star Destroyer. What's the name of the Star Destroyer this is happening on?
The Star Destroyer Diabolique.
Okay, I like this because I think the way the Star Destroyers get named is Palpatine is sitting around with Janus Grijatis, Simalu, all the Imperial dignitaries, like, I need another evil word. One of them is just like, Diabolique.
I was on the French planet once.
All right, our action takes place aboard the Star Destroyer Diabolique. And I think our scene maybe begins with a controller LT-319 still getting adjusted to all of his headgear, and he needs something from inventory. What does he need?
Ooh, that's a great idea. I think he needs a new pair of glasses to fit his headgear. Like, he had another pair, but, they don't go over his ears now. There's a problem here. There's something going on.
Whatever the Star Wars version of duct tape is,
yes,
his glasses duct taped to his headgear because he can't see. And he's like, oh, man, I should have got my eyes done, too.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's where he's at. So he's like, I must head down to, I can't remember Josh Gad's voice in this, but I think it's pretty reserved.
Yeah.
I must head down to inventory. I need some new spectacles.
Yeah, and I think like every once in a while he gets strangely emotional because there's that part of him that's fighting back against the control, right?
Yeah.
So I think he says that very calmly of like, I need the spectacles. And then I think he just stops and like almost starts weeping. Like,
yeah,
I need the spectacles.
Yeah. Doesn't use his mind's all over the place.
Mind's all over the place, yeah.
Spectacles. That's kind of like coursing through his brain.
Yeah.
His heart is saying, I liked my old pair.
100% need new spectacles.
Yeah.
Don't want new spectacles.
Yeah.
And he pulls himself together. Yeah. You can do this. You can do this, controller LT-319. And he marches in.
Yeah.
The door opens. And he comes to this droid.
Yeah. And AP-5 slowly turns around. Welcome to the supply closet. Please provide me your identification and your need.
And I think controller LT-319 says, my identification is now contained within my Lobot Tech headgear. And I think he aggressively shoves his head. He doesn't have the scan docs that other people have to pull out because it's now just in his head. And I think he aggressively shoves his head toward AP-5's scanning unit.
I'm going to have to warn you that head movement is considered an act of aggression by my programming.
That is 100% inaccurate to Imperial protocol. I have the file. I've pulled it up right now, immediately in my mind. This is an Imperial statute that head may move quickly at a rate of up to 0.2 parsecs per second, as long as the head does not come into contact with any property owned by the Empire, then it is allowed. One may basically swing their head about, and that is 100% okay.
I understand the Imperial protocol that you're referencing, but I like to think that even droids can sometimes interpret and think and react by their own accord.
Well, that is nice to know what you think. I don't think that emotions are... It is 100% true that emotions are unimportant to the work of the Empire. The Empire. I need glasses. These don't. I love the glasses I'm wearing right now. I think I look very nice. I had a girlfriend once who said that these complemented my cheekbones. But the point is, I 100% need new Imperial issue spectacles that will work with my headgear.
I understand your need. I am jealous that you've even experienced love. But you'll have to fill out the proper forms.
I do not have time or desire to do this. I am due on the bridge. Yes, the bridge. Yes, in the data pits, but on the bridge of the Diabolique in, I believe, 5 standard minutes.
Okay, look, I'll get the paper for you. While you're filling it out, I'll try to find your spectacles. What are you looking for?
You know what? I don't have time for this. I know what I'm looking for. I know where it's stored. I just pulled up the information. So I'm going to get those spectacles for myself. That is 100% logical.
And at this point, AP-5 has reached under the desk and pulled out what is very rare paper in this galaxy.
Oh, wow.
But he, out of kind of homage to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, he slips this form in front of him. Says,
okay.
Please fill out in full.
What, paper? That no. And I think Controller LT-319 slaps the paper out of AP-5's hands and just tries to push right past him.
Yes, and I think he succeeds in a way. Here's what I think. I think LT pushes past him, and AP-5 kind of like falls back a little bit, and kind of looks, and it's almost like studying. And then LT does what would be the worst thing for AP-5. Not only has he pushed past him and not paid attention to the form, he starts rifling through the closet, the gear closet here. Just pulling stuff out, and AP-5's like, that, please don't.
And
but don't do that.
A huge crisis for Controller LT-319 because he thought that he knew exactly where the glasses are stored.
Right.
But he accidentally opened up the glove place.
Yeah.
There is a strange Imperial sort of codpiece crotch protection thing. And it's like, that's not what he's looking for, the crotch armor.
And what he's learned here is that he can deduce that AP-5 has taken it upon himself to reorganize the closet on his own time, not exactly following Imperial protocol.
Yeah.
So that's angering him as well.
Yeah. So I think as he's rifling through, AP-5 right away is reached his breaking point because he's all about organization and inventory. And I think he stumbles after him, goes after him, and taps him on the shoulder. Okay.
This is not a fighting droid.
Yeah.
It's not a B1 or a B2 battle droid. He taps him on the shoulder.
And I think all of this repressed emotion overwhelms the Lobot Tech headgear because Controller LT-319 is feeling insecure because he has the wrong information, which is exactly what these things were always supposed to prevent. I'm going to make up the backstory that he used to get things wrong and he would be embarrassed, and that's why he got this.
Oh, yeah.
So it's exactly what's happening right now would never happen to him again.
That's perfect. Yeah.
And he's so ashamed. He's so angry, and it overwhelms all of that Lobot Tech gear.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he says, he's just inarticulate with rage. He's flecking. There's a big wad of little just spit that hits AP-5's big eyes. And he hauls off and he punches AP-5 in the face, which doesn't work out for his fist at all. No. There's a huge... it's painful.
Oh, yeah. And AP-5 stumbles back and is like, Sir, you are enacting a violent approach the situation, might I suggest singing a song about your sunglasses and spectacles? What do you need to cover your eyes? Try it. Sing with me.
No.
What do you
I know
need?
I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong, both emotionally and rationally. This is wrong. Droids shouldn't sing. Ah! And he grabs one of these pieces of crotch armor that's in this Imperial Extras supply closet.
Yeah.
And he uses that, and he takes a big swing at AP-5's leg.
I love it. And
Tries to take him down.
I think he succeeds. I think he sweeps him out by the knee. And these protocol droids, you can see from the behind-the-scenes making of New Hope, when Anthony Ennis falls, it takes 12 people to get him back up. So I think when AP-5 falls, this is a loud thud, clunk, and much like a turtle on the backside of its shell, he's just like, oh, no.
What does it sound like as he goes down? What does it vocally sound like when AP-5 goes down?
Oh, I'm going down.
Excellent. And he is down. And controller LT-319, just in a mad fit of rage, he's on top of him now. He's got both hands on him. He's trying to choke him, which is pointless because he doesn't breathe. And I think controller LT-319 gets so upset that he's like, I will show you incorrect, unallowed Imperial head movement. And he headbutts AP-5. And I don't think it goes well for LT-319's face at all.
No, he is busted open, man. He's earning green the hard way here, man, as they say in wrestling. He's got the blood coming down from his forehead. And but he has succeeded in cracking AP-5's eyes, his insect eyes.
Really? He did? Okay. This is fascinating because I think LT-319 also smashed his own glasses.
The ones that he was wearing?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I think
shattered.
he smashes his glasses and he smashes one of AP-5's eyes. Mm-hmm. Now they're both a little bit wounded in terms of their ocular skills. Right. Does AP-5 retaliate?
He tries. So his hands, like, he reaches up and I think grabs onto LT-319's legs.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe LT, now he's also trying to kick him or something.
Yeah.
So he does grab on, and he holds him. And he's got a droid grip. That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit of a, like, LT-5's kind of struggling on one leg, kind of like, stop. And AP-5's like, please, cease your violence. And then he kind of like yanks, and I think he yanks so hard, like he pulls LT's knee out of his socket.
Oh, that's...
It's not fully ripped off, but there's a loud crack.
Oh, gosh.
And LT's just like,
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, he's certainly in a lot of pain. His leg is mangled. He falls over. He hits a button, and a closet that they'd been jostling against goes, and it opens. And because it's been jostled, what was inside falls out, and it is just a rain of small blasters. Mm-hmm. Falls out all over the floor between these two fighting titans.
Gotcha.
Suddenly, they both scatter, and I think that they look up at each other through their pain, and I think maybe at the same time, they both say the statute that prohibits Imperial officers from shooting each other on duty.
So it is Imperial Statute 312-579, second line, third clause. You shall not fire a blaster on or at any Imperial officer.
And then I think LT-319 scrambles for a blaster.
Yeah.
Look, it's screaming in pain because his knee's real not okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
that's gonna be a back.
Oh, that's a prop. Yeah, I don't even know back to. You might just have to lose the leg at that point.
I don't care what galaxy you're from.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Right.
So they both know the clause. I guess the question is, do they violate it?
Yeah. And I think that is truly the question. And maybe a good point to pause in our combat and decide who should win, who's going to win. Physically, LT-319 is outmatched. He's not a fighter. He's got a blaster, though, so he could go crazy here.
Yeah. I think AP-5 deserves to win, but I think we need to provide even more narrative reason for AP-5 to want to leave the Empire.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's on the table as a possibility.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you think that this is one of the moments that scars him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I see it. All right. I am with you that AP-5 is just the more likable of these characters.
Yeah.
LT-319 should have maybe just dealt with his issues and not gotten its Lobot tech headgear. He's been very rude. I mean, you feel a little pity for him because he's not in control of his emotions and he just wants some cool glasses. But he could have handled himself better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think then he does just open fire.
Yes.
And I think the shots go wild because he's hopping on one leg.
Right.
I think one eye is damaged. I think one eye got kind of, at least around it, got cut up. And, and I know enough about wrestling that, you get your forehead cut. That's a real bleeder, right?
That's a bleeder.
So he's got blood in his eye. He's hopping on one leg. It's, the opposite eye versus the opposite leg. So he's real off balance. He's super off balance. Things are exploding. This is destroying AP-5.
Right.
And I think controller LT-319 is like, you want a song? You want a song? How about this? La, 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 la. Take this. Huh? La, 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 la.
I think, in Cloud City,
Yeah.
when C-3PO walks in, oh, happy to see you familiar face. Ichuta, and he walks in. Look at where he ends up, right?
Yeah.
Broken into pieces.
Yep.
That happens with one blast.
One blast shot to the wrong place just explodes all your limbs. Either Anakin is terrible at putting droids together.
Might be. So I think this is what happens to AP-5. I think all these wild shots, one of them, boom, hits right dead center, and he just explodes.
I think AP-5 was in the middle of getting up and like, I better get to my feet and get out of the... Whoa! Just a rain of
clean
AP-5.
breaks.
Okay.
You notice how 3PO was clean breaks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The joints just absorb all that tension of the blast and then boom.
So I think that's kind of what happens there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does AP-5 stay, unlike 3PO, who goes out,
Yeah.
does AP-5 stay sentient?
Yes. Yes. His head and torso land to the ground with a thud.
Okay.
And LT-319 is sitting there, kind of like a crazed killer, like, a fit of passion, how you can get out of crimes if you in court where you're, it was fit of rage, it was passion, crime of passion. He's got that feel where he's just like, what and the whole time, and AP-5's just like, malfunction. I believe I've been shot. I want to be in space. And he's just repeating it over and over.
Okay. And I think as the pain recedes a little bit, and there's no retaliation coming from AP-5,
right?
That the Lobot tech headgear takes over pretty much. And is basically like going through all the Imperial rules, and like there was 100% chance you will be killed for this. Yeah. That you will be drummed out of the service, and you will be just killed. Maybe you'll be court-martialed with a sentence of death. Yeah, you will be shot into space probably.
Oh yeah.
And then he starts going like, controller LT-319 believes that he can indeed take care of this. I can. And he's racing. He can't find any rules to get himself out of this. And then he sees on the floor, through the blood, through the pain, there's something under one of AP-5's legs. He kind of bends over and he pushes it aside, and he sees that nice pair of specs that he was looking for.
Black rimmed. Yellow tinted.
Yeah. Real cool. He feels like he would have some really good tech ideas if he put these on.
Right.
And he slides them into place. And they fit perfectly with the head tech. And they almost make him think better. They make him think calmer. They make him think different. And suddenly he finds this statute that it is okay to shoot a droid that you can prove was malfunctioning at the time that you shot them. And he realizes there's not a camera in here. So all I need is recording of this droid singing,
Right.
which is inappropriate, and then I can escape court-martial.
Oh, gotcha. So he has to maybe go to the computers in the inventory thing here in the closet and try to pull some recordings.
I think he needs the droid to sing now.
He needs his droid to sing now. Okay.
Yeah, so I think he tapes his leg together with some more material as best as he can. This is painful. He closes his eyes. He doesn't look about it. He doesn't think about it.
Yeah, right. It's the best way. I'm like that when I put on Band-Aids.
Someone will make that feel better later, he says to himself, logically. And I think he leans over, beaten, defeated, knowing that he's made a fool of himself. And I think he starts talking to the droid, like, all right, look, we can both get out of this. That's the logical thing. We both want to get out of this without punishment.
Right.
Both want to get on with our lives and forget about this. They'll let you off with a warning because my records say that you are a very, very good droid at your job. Good droid. People don't like you because you're weird, but good at your job. I just need you to sing for me. I got my holo recorder. I just need you to. I'm in fact recording with my headgear, my Lobot head tech gear. Just need you to sing a song and we can both live.
Okay. Any particular tune?
Are you asking for a suggestion?
A good performer always incorporates his audience's desires, but I have a tune.
Oh, okay, yes. I know I look like I would be a big fan of jazz, so maybe that freestyle jazz.
I have always wanted a brain that could think for itself, but I'm not allowed, for I am a droid. I'm dreaming the impossible dream of being seen as one of you. I'm dreaming the impossible dream to not be a droid, to be heard and be seen.
And controller LT-319 has just turned into a weeping mess.
Yeah. The torso and head of AP-5 on the ground, limbs still smoking.
Controller LT-319 has just melted into a pile of tears.
Yeah. Stained his new glasses.
He stained his new glasses.
Yeah.
The song was so beautiful. He's hoping he can edit his own tears, his own just weeping out of the recording.
It's hard. I have this hiss on my gear that I know is hard to get out now. So, yes, it's going to be tough, LT.
Yeah. So I think that maybe the controller LT-319 pulls himself out together and tries to get out of there. Do you think something more happens? Do you think something more needs to happen to drive home the horrors of the Empire to AP-5?
I think we kind of fade out and fade back in, and he's being, or a wipe if you prefer for Star Wars fans. I think he's being rebuilt by some other droids.
Okay.
And they're putting them back together, but he sees, as he's looking at them, these droids have no personality. They have no anima. They're just doing their job, doing their programming, and it affects him. And he knows that maybe one day, somewhere out in the galaxy, he'll meet another droid with just as much personality as he has.
Ah, that is beautiful. And I think that controller LT-319 realizes that one of the best parts of having the tech headgear is that people assume that you're going to be emotional, that
Yes.
are not emotional, that you're going to be
emotional.
very rational. So he does manage to get away with this. He edits out his own weeping. He shares the video of AP-5 singing the song. I think maybe AP-5 gets another demotion or gets put into even smaller supply closet. And then controller LT-319 eventually gets so proficient with his headgear that he figures out how to erase that this ever happened.
Yes.
Because otherwise, the song that was inserted into his very heart and soul by AP-5 could never be erased if he did not erase his entire memory of this event.
Yep. And then he goes, hopefully, on to bigger and better things in the Empire.
That's right. And that is our story of the songs of the Star Destroyer Diabolique. A beautiful, beautiful thing. I did not even realize what I was doing with the prequel to Double Agent Droid.
Double Agent Droid. It was good. And you know what I like, too? The Star Destroyer Diabolique is still alive. It's still in canon. We can bring it back.
Oh, yeah. We're going to fight on this baby again. Yeah. Maybe we can have a fight outside in the hallway and people be walking by and going, what's going on in that supply closet? Who knows? Let's keep fighting.
Databank Brawl canon.
Exactly. We are building more and more Databank Brawl canon. We are having fun with some Last Jedi characters. We're having fun going back to the depths of the databank for some of these rebel weirdos. We'll have a lot more battles. And, of course, looking forward to Solo. As always, if there are characters that you want to see fight, let us know with the hashtag Databank Brawl. You can suggest matchups, or if there's a specific character that you want to see fight, let us know. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms. Don't forget my podcast, The Napzok Files, and I am on Twitch, having a lot of fun chatting with you guys live as I pew my way through Battlefront 2. Just find me there under the name Ken Napzok.
Excellent. And I'd like to thank Tony Thaxton for our theme music. You can check out his Patreon where he writes new Star Wars songs. His Patreon can be found at patreon.com, I believe, just /Tony Thaxton. You can also find stuff that I'm doing on my website, josephscrimshaw.com. That's got a lot of stuff about live shows. It's got stuff about comedy albums. You can check out my Star Wars comedy album, Rebel Scum, that I've started to advertise here on the podcast. And then what do you know? People buy it. That's how advertising works. That's how basic communication works. So good on me for remembering that after years of doing this podcast. You can also check out my other podcast, Obsessed. It was on hiatus, but it is back. I've got a new episode with Ash Crossan, who's been on some great episodes of Databank Brawl. She's talking about her obsession with really, really bad movies, so bad that they are good. Of course, you can support ForceCenter on Patreon. That's patreon.com/ForceCenter. You can check out our merch at tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter. You can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram as at Joseph Scrimshaw. You can like ForceCenter on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as at ForceCenterPod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, well, no one was really listening to him. I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.